you watching nowadays on TV, bro?
Oh man, I just watched this documentary on Bill Cosby. We need to talk about Cosby on Showtime, and I think it's pretty good. Like, it's not like, in my opinion, it ain't no super duper award winning documentary, but I think it's the best documentary that could be made right now because Cosby's about 80. A lot of his contemporaries either weren't willing to talk or aren't able to speak on it, and but I think the cool thing it did was show a lot of the good things Cosby did, because that's the conflict with talking about this whole thing. Either people say 100% pure monster, pure rapist, or this dude 100% helped black people. I don't know about the rest of the stuff. It hasn't been proven. But this one does its best to do both. Like, look, check out this dude's career, check out what he did for the culture, check out X, Y, and Z. But look at all this evidence. This dude got it in for, like, with this spike in women's drink. He's been doing it for something. I'm trying to do the math, like something like 60 years. 50, 60 years he was doing that shit. He did that shit, and this is not just when he was a young man, 20s, 30s, maybe early 40s. This dude was doing, I think he did it as recent as the early 2000s.
Oh, he's that young girl, right? That was the one that got him caught up at Temple, right? Wasn't it?
I don't even know which, but the one he actually went to court for. The one he got convicted for.
Okay.
Because it was recent enough for him to stand trial for it.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's your limitation. Yep. No, but doesn't that more, as you get older, right? Then you look at historical figures, isn't that more of a, don't we kind of realize that these people that we thought were great, they're not great 24 hours a day. They got some fucked up moments. So you know what I mean? Like, Gandhi slept with, you know what I mean, like younger children. Now, we don't know what he did with them, but it was weird, right? Like, no one brings that up, but it's like, yo, you did something weird. Like Martin Luther King, you know, there's rumors of infidelity towards his wife, you know what I mean? But does that mean he wasn't a great man? That doesn't even mean he wasn't a great husband. It's just like sometimes life is more dimensions, right? Like, so then it's like, yeah, you're great for this, you're known for this, you're exalted for this, but in reality, it's actually more believable that you got some fucked up shit about you in there.
Yeah, man, and the only perfect dude, not perfect, but basically what I'm saying is that I think people are praying that Obama didn't do anything. Like, people are praying for Obama, and I think is that nothing weird comes out. And you know what? Like, after some years, it's like compound interest in an investment or some shit. Sometimes stuff that, I don't want to call it normal, but stuff that's that wasn't unusual comes back. Oh, it might have been something weird, like Obama ditched a date and left her with a check, and that shit comes out, and it's like, oh, this dude is wilding, man. Me too.
Yeah, but it's like, it's something eventually. He has two daughters. You know what I'm saying? Like in 2020, I think, what is it, Sasha or one of them, Malia, had a City Girl video go viral. It's like, y'all hoping, like, y'all want something bad, but it's like, it's kind of, it's life. He can't control what other people do. You know what I mean? It's we might find some fucked up shit about Obama, but it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's more, it make you more human to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It make you more, now if it's some wild shit, you fucking kids doing some crazy shit, yeah, it's like you're a scumbag. But it's like, like you said, something like he stood up, maybe he like ghosted a chick. And she was really like butthurt over that shit, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, in her eyes, he's the scum of the earth, but it's like, yo, he's a human being. We ain't all, you know what I'm saying? I'm here podcasting. Y'all know me as the DJ and podcaster, but it's like something outside of this, I could be a fucked up person. It's just, but this is what I choose to show you. You know what I'm saying?
But to completely separate Obama from Cosby, because they don't need to be in the same paragraph, right? That's just where the conversation went. But back to like Cosby, I think people seeing what he meant to the culture, people denied a lot of the what he did, because like, yo, I refuse to believe that this guy also did these other things, which is much worse than these other people you mentioned, King and Obama and stuff like that. This is a completely different stratosphere. And I think that, I think people wanted that perfect guy.
Didn't Dave Chappelle have, like, speak on that a little bit? Like, Bill Cosby put up the money for the sound system of, like, some famous speech or something like that for civil rights? Am I tripping?
Yeah. I read that it's questionable if that's true, but the essence of what he was saying, I get what he was saying. Like, he did tremendous things. Like, for instance, like he worked on a show in the 60s or early 70s or something like that. And that's when he was really getting put on, a show called I Spy. And he looked around and said, yo, this white dude's getting painted black to be stunt. Because it was like an action show. It was like a cop show or whatever. And they did stunts. And the stunt men were white and they were painting themselves black to do the stunts for black characters, the black star or him. Even, I think and then there was a woman on there who said, like, for instance, one of the old James Bonds, like from the 60s or 70s, like a white dude painted black did the stunts for this woman that was in, Bond always has a love interest. This one particular one, she was black and they was doing a stunt. It was a white dude in a wig. It was crazy. It looked crazy. They slowed the video down. It looked insane, son. It was insane. It was a white dude in a dress with a big curly wig on. Oh, man. But the point is that Cosby said, yo, I want black stuntmen. You tell me in this whole town there's no black stuntmen. I ain't working if I don't get a black stuntman because this shit looks wild. And from there, they said he put a spark in like the industry for black stuntmen.
Nice. Yeah. No, it's a dimensional thing. Like, I think if you look at the whole spectrum of a lot of people in history, there's going to be shit that we can cancel them for, and there's going to be shit that we would exalt them for. And unfortunately for Bill, his cancelable shit might outweigh the good shit, man.
It was extreme because now, and that's the thing with nowadays, we have these labels for stuff like cancel and Me Too and all that type of stuff. And then under that umbrella is a whole lot of shit that there's Bill Cosby, but then there's like Bill Cosby's not the same as Kevin Hart saying weird shit on Twitter. Right, but with all that is under the cancel umbrella, and Kevin Hart didn't even get canceled. But when we talk about cancel, we tend throughout the history of cancellation, both of these instances were spoken of, the Kevin Hart thing and the Bill Cosby thing, but they don't deserve to be under that same umbrella.
Gotcha. Where was that documentary available?
Showtime.
Perfect.
And I had forgot to mention, I was curious as to what the podcasters out there thought about the Bill Cosby shit, the documentary. So I listened to one, and a lot of them is like praising it, and a lot of it's like those ultra educated black liberals and white dudes and white liberals and stuff like that. So I'm like, I wonder if there's somebody with a more moderate opinion of it. There isn't, because what I found was then the other extreme is this dude named, I think his name is Boyce Watkins or something like that. Yo, this dude, it is weird, man. I can't even encapsulate his opinion. It was like, yo, basically white people, the documentary is a product of white people trying to break down Bill Cosby. And he said, I'm not saying that he didn't do it, but he wasn't proven in a court of law because he was.
No, go ahead, my fault. Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying because, so basically right now he's out, he's not in prison. So he's saying that.
He's saying that they didn't even exist. Like that, the fact that we locked him up, that case doesn't even exist because it had to be thrown out.
He's saying that it exists, but what he's saying is that it's not proven. But that's just
because you can't use a legal precedent in the future to be like, hey, Bill Cosby, we said, you know what I mean? Like, it can't be used against him.
Right. But basically the dude's point was, and that he's saying that the guy who created the documentary was black, but he's a black liberal, and he calls them white liberals in blackface.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think what you said, a narrative, because that is right. I think there are other people, obviously Boyce isn't the only one who feels like that. That feels like this is just, I mean, as a matter of fact, we're talking about this. They were like, yo, they're just trying to take Bill down. Now, I think was just three dudes in a room. They were just being overly misogynistic. Them bitches knew what they was coming for. I was like, all right, I can't participate in this conversation. Yeah. They knew what they was coming over there for. But I was like, aren't you arguing against your point if they was coming over for that? Like, why did he have to drug them? That doesn't.
Well, that's the thing. When you hear the actual stories, it hits different. Yeah. And I don't agree with but I get exactly where they're coming from. It's like, yo, like, why would you come to someone's hotel room or wherever? But like the way Bill Cosby did it was very deceiving, right? Like, even if you say, all right, well, there was like, let's say 1/4 of the girls who told their stories, Like, oh, well, they did come for that. Or they did come for a date. There was a good chunk of them that it was like, he said, oh, I'll give you mentorship. Oh, you trying to come up in the game? I know people. Come, we'll talk about it. Or, oh, you seem pretty nervous on stage. Let's just work on something. So he
found ways to get them to his hotel room where it necessarily wasn't sexual.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly. But
from the outside looking in, it always has that perception of, well, why'd you go to his hotel room?
Right. But let's say it was, oh, well, why would you be naive? Why would a famous guy bring you to his hotel room or his dressing room or his office or whatever, wherever he did stuff? Why would he get you there? Like, well, you should have known better. Well, when he got them there, he would give them a drink with drugs in it. But it was some next type of shit. Like, it wasn't just, oh, well, a Quaalude would get you kind of relaxed, maybe impair your judgment. Like, it was some old anesthesia type shit. Like, you got to look at the youth.
They dropped in within minutes type of shit. Like, they just
they said they would drink it, and then like the rooms start closing. And I don't know if you or if you ever heard of somebody describe what it feels like to faint. Like the black comes in on you from like your peripheral
like a tunnel.
Gets
you
black.
Get the tunnel around it. Yeah,
it starts closing in.
Dude was telling me that the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what all of them described that, and they felt kind of queasy, and then they will wake up and they don't remember what happened. They will just wake up somewhere, and they will see Bill Cosby, however he is, whether it's clothed, unclothed, or he'd be like, all right, you could call a cab, like, or like shit like that. Like, it was weird.
I wonder if he just get nervous with bitches. Like, maybe he like actually like has a nervous thing about fucking women. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah,
it
makes me
maybe.
I can't like. Yeah, it's definitely deeper than I just want to have relations with a woman and this is my way. Because it's Bill Cosby. He was he was a comedian up there with people like Sidney Poitier and Sammy Davis and Frank Sinatra and all these cats. Like, so he didn't need drugs to do it. It must have been some kind of power thing, like. Where it's like I have absolute power over, it's insane, bro. Like the stories are crazy. I won't lie.
I wonder if it's similar to like you ever be tired to be like, yo, I could holla at some chick tonight to have sex, or I could just watch porn, and at least I know if I watch porn, it's all about me. Like I'm getting pleasure, but if I have sex, I gotta pleasure her. I gotta make sure, especially if it's a girl you care about too. You're like, I gotta maybe want this bitch to come, like eat it out. You know what I mean? Like it's like I might just whack one off. Maybe like Bill's like that.
yeah, like it's next level. I mean, I heard I think it was Kirk Franklin. He had a porn addiction, and basically said it was about like power. In the sense of like I have influence over every aspect of this situation.
Yeah. I can see that because you obviously you have sex with a girl, you're to what she was willing to do and not do. Whereas in porn, you're like, oh, watch this. And now, honestly, I would imagine, like, remember back in the day, all they had was like the fleshlight. That was like the only thing. There's like thousands of products like that now to simulate oral sex, to simulate what a pussy feels like. So it's like, motherfuckers could have the technology, the fucking VR goggles. Motherfuckers could really be immersed in a fucking porn world.
Yeah, man. But I think that, I feel like the documentary, like, I think part of it was to make the case like, like Bill Cosby's a monster for real. But I feel as if like it didn't have to go too much out of its way to make that case. And that's why I think it's a mediocre documentary, but I really do believe that's the best that anyone could do right now. And he took a shot at it.